Right, grade 11 and grade 12s. The last thing I want to just look at under cost accounting is just to actually go back to this contribution and just reinforce what this contribution is and how it can be used for planning into the future. Remember, as we said, that the break even is the point at which the fixed costs are covered by the money that they get in from selling the goods. Now, every item that they sold, there will be a variable cost to it. So anything over and above that will go to make the fixed costs up. And they'd have to cover all those fixed costs before they can make a break even. But now let's look at an example over here of a question. And it's the same question paper I used in the calculation of the break even, but it's actually at this stage actually focusing more on the cereals, the other department that this production cost had. And they ask you the following. They say to you, calculate the following for cereals. The additional profit that will be made in May if production and sales increase by 10%. Now, how would you work that out? Just stop now and think how you would actually work out what profit they could make if they were to increase this by 10%. All right, now I hope you did do some thinking about it, but just to look here. In this, under the cereal, in April, they've been making 19,000 units. Now they want to increase that by 10%. So we know that 10% of 19,000 will be 1,900. So they want to make an extra 1,900 units. Now remember that the selling price is 80 Rand for each item over here, and the variable costs are 41 Rand. And so those variable costs will be carried on each of the extra 1,900. But our fixed costs remain the same. They don't change. And therefore, we will be making the contribution over and above when we do this. As long as you've made the profit, everything thereafter will become profit to you. And it's that contribution that adds to it. So if there's 1,900 units there, and we've got a selling price of 80 Rand, and the variable cost is 41 Rand, that means that this business is having a contribution of 39 Rand. 39 Rand surplus on each of the extra 1,900 units that they're going to produce. And that will come out to 74,100. So if they do happen to have to increase the thing, this business is already breaking even. Because if you could look here, you can see the break even was 8615 and they were making 19,000 units. So everything over this 8615, the contribution of every unit after that will add into a profit. And then it can be asked in the reverse way. They can say to you, for example, the number of extra units that must be produced and sold in May to make an additional profit of 300,000. You've now decided you want to make an extra 300,000 Rand profit. So you've got your 300,000. Now that 300,000 is going to have to come out of the contribution, because remember the variable costs are increasing with each box of cereal. So we would have to divide this by 39, because how many extra 39s do we need to make that extra profit of 300,000? And in this question they asked you the number of extra units, and it actually came out at 7692,7. Well, as I said to you earlier, we're not going to be able to sell a 0.7 of a box, so we would round this up and say 7693 extra boxes of cereal that would have to be made if we wanted to make an extra 300,000 Rand profit. Now, answering those questions look very simple there, but you would battle with this if you didn't fully understand what the contribution is. And if you're not sure of what contribution is, stop at this point and just spend some time working out how each item is contributing towards the fixed costs. So just try and get to the hang of that before you start going into exams. Right, this is the last of my lessons on the cost accounting. I have broken them up, and I hope it's actually helped you each time. The point of breaking it up is that you can go back and revise which sections you actually have a problem with, instead of having it all in one long lecture. So good luck with cost accounting, and it is a section that if you spend the time on, you can master, and you can always gain some relatively good marks in any assessment. Good luck.